Meanwhile, the president just teeing off on this GOP. Take a look.
Republicans are so concerned with appeasing the Tea Party that they've threatened a government shutdown or worse unless I gut or repeal the Affordable Care Act. I said this yesterday. Let me repeat it. That's not going to happen.
All right, the message from the president, it's all the Republicans' fault now. They're the ones who are just, stomping their feet. Let's see if this woman is the South Dakota Republican Congresswoman, leading player in the Republican leadership in the House, Congresswoman Kristi Noem. Well, you heard what the president said, that you're the reason, or you Republicans are the reason why we're in this mess. What do you say?
You know, I listened to the president's speech, and I was just so surprised to hear a United States president be so eager to negotiate with Iran, who refers to America as Big Satan, yet refuses to come and even have a conversation with Congress. So the most I've heard the president speak is in front of the media on my TV in my office.
So, Congressman, you always hear the back and forth from the president. Don't even think of linking anything to health care. That's not going to happen. Now, the president has delayed a number of provisions himself, including yesterday the online small business application. So that was, I think, the 7th major delay, to say nothing of hundreds and thousands of exemptions and special carve-outs. So he does seem to have done and been open in the past to this sort of thing. Do you think Republicans are open, if not to killing the health care law, maybe attaching a proviso that says you delay a key feature, let's say the individual mandate or something else like that?
You know, we'll certainly have that conversation with the president. People talk a lot about the 40 times we voted to change, defund, or repeal Obamacare. 7 of those now have become law because the president saw the validity in having those conversations. This is the perfect time to discuss reforms to that law because of the cost of that law to our federal government. The president talked extensively about our debt ceiling and our debt ceiling negotiations that he would not negotiate. You know, this is the same guy that was a United States Senator that said it was a failure of leadership that continued putting dollars on the credit card, money that we borrow from other countries to pay our debt, and to let that go forward. So it's just a complete reversal by a man that right now I don't trust very many words that he's saying.
Do you, or does some of your Republican colleagues fear, Congresswoman, that whatever, the veracity of your argument, that the president will get the upper hand here? I mean, there's only one president. There are 435 of you in the House. There are 100 senators, and it's going to be very hard to trump him PR-wise, and that you might get the shorter end of a government shutdown stick. Does that concern you?
Oh, you know, absolutely. We don't run Washington, D.C. Republicans are 1/2 of 1/3 of government right now. The fact that the president wants to blame the Republicans in the House for all of the problems that this country is facing is just wrong. You know, and a good analogy in this situation, Neil, is that if kids went off to college, maxed out their credit cards, they'd come back to their parents and say, you know, will you help me? Will you pay the bills? Well, absolutely, parents want to help their kids, but they're sure not going to hand them another credit card to just go max out. They're going to want some changes made. They're going to want to look at reforms, and that's the reasonable conversation that Republicans are trying to have in the House is, listen, we've got some bad trends going. We've got a president whose budget never balances into perpetuity. Why would we not talk about reforms that we can put into place, or limit a bill that's going to add another $1.3 trillion worth of spending to our federal government? It's just common sense, and this president doesn't want to have any of it.
There's going to be a shutdown, isn't there?
You know, I don't know. We're going to meet tomorrow at noon as House Republicans talk about the bill that we're getting back from the Senate, see what we can do to really make a difference for the American people, to give our kids a better future, because right now this president isn't interested in coming alongside us and helping us do that.
Congresswoman Kristi Noem, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Neil.